Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar series number 7, webinar number 7. On the webinar with us today is Cheryl, my beautiful wife. How are you doing,
Thank you.
Cheryl?
Good.
And well, we're just going to get right into it today. What is this about? What are we doing today, Cheryl?
Hold on, let me go back up to the top. This is this was an inspection of a facility that has a LNS license. So they have the
Okay.
limited nursing service license. And they were doing their unannounced licensure survey for the LNS license.
Okay,
And
let's
they
share
found
that
some
screen here.
deficiencies.
Okay. Okay, can you see the screen? Okay,
Yes, that's where
there
I
we
am.
go. List of tags cited.
All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. The first tag that they found was resident care, and this was one of the nurses or employees or med techs. It was one of the nurses was doing the med pass, and the surveyor observed her not giving a medication to resident 9. So the surveyor started to dig and find out what's going on and why resident 9 didn't have their Bencar 40 milligrams. So I'm sure that they went to the files, went into the med sheets and different things, and they found that they reviewed a fax physician order that was dated, current date, and revealed that that resident should be taking that pill 1 time a day, and it has 11 refills. So
Mm-hmm.
they interviewed the nurse, and she stated that she didn't give the Benicar because she does not have it and she couldn't find the bubble pack. And she stated that she requested a refill that day. And the nurse stated that she usually pulls the stickers on the label, for reordering prior to the 8th dose. That way they keep a log of it too. And they, let's see what else. So the surveyor reviewed the refill log for the month of February and March and revealed a written request to refill the medication today, the day that they were there. And the nurse stated that she just faxed the refill order today, and there was no evidence in the refill log requesting the medication for February and March, except for today, because it wasn't given. It just hasn't been given since February,
Yeah.
which is just an definite oversight on
Well,
ordering.
definitely if they pulled the sticker and sent it today and they were out of it, then they didn't do it when they had 8 pills left. So, because otherwise there wouldn't even be a sticker. I mean,
There
so
wouldn't be a bubble pack. There's no bubble pack anymore. Someone probably threw it out or something.
right, right.
But
Well,
that's where auditing comes in. If you're looking over your medication records daily, you'll see that that medication wasn't given unless, unfortunately, somebody just keeps signing for it even though they're not giving it.
a big thing that that we do is that if you got to teach your staff that if there is no pill and you have an empty bottle or empty pack, bring it right to the DON or the manager or
Administrator.
administrator and say, hey, we're out of this pill. And we have a little system that we use, and whenever we get a refill, because sometimes with those stickers, you'll pull the sticker and you'll request it, so the facility may do their part. They request it from the pharmacy is trying to get a refill order from a doctor, or for some reason the pharmacy didn't do it. And then we forget that it didn't come in. We did our part. So when we do get those refills, we put a check marks next to the existing medication on their label. So that way we know the refill's in. So as we're doing an audit, you could see the refill is not in. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Something else that we do is I make my whoever's in charge of medication for the week. It's called matching meds, and they take out the MOR and they just match the bubble packs to the MOR, making sure we have everything, making sure there isn't anything that shouldn't be in the box, making sure that there's not any new medications that have come in that weren't written in properly. It's just matching one for one. If they find a discrepancy, they let one of us know, and that seems. I mean, our medication's been very good since we started that system.
Well, I mean, just that one thing alone, if a pill was, you know, um, 12.5 dose and then they went to 25, the pill you had before was 12.5 milligrams, but the new pill comes in as 25s. Now all of a sudden your MOR says give 2 tablets, even though it says give 12.5 tablets, 2 times a day. The new 25s come in and your MOR still says 2 tablets. Your staff could be double dosing. So yeah, that's I mean it's a hard task for sure to stay on top of, but some simple systems. But where we find
Systems.
trouble, wouldn't you say, Cheryl, is that we do our part, the pharmacy does their part trying to reach out to the doctor
Yeah.
to get a refill, but then the doctor doesn't respond.
No, they don't. And it's frustrating. Or they'll, a month later they'll say, or well, probably not a month, but at the end they'll say, well, the patient needs to come in for an office visit. No,
Yeah,
they won't refill. So, but again, if you just document it, that you've made every effort to get the medication. But I still don't. I still in my heart think it would not be enough for some people that
I
come in
agree.
and do an
But
inspection.
definitely you get the family involved because I think the doctors respond better to that.
Sure.
So, okay, so what else? So yeah, refill. Basically, that's
So in their policies and procedures, if you look down another paragraph or something, their policy and procedures is that the community is responsible for obtaining new medication orders and refills. So that's kind of hurt them right there. It's not that it hurt them, but the survey, I went and pulled that out to kind of throw it in their face and say, look, this is your policy that you're supposed to order these medications. So they should have stayed on it according to their policy.
mhm.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Review
What
of
after
medication
resident care?
observation record for
Oh yeah.
February and March revealed that the medication has been signed as given except for today. It was circled indicating that it was not administered. Residents' blood pressure been ranging from 111 over 51 to 121 over 69. Interview with the primary nurse stated that she had called the pharmacy and that the Benicar will be delivered between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. this evening. There is a benefit to having a local pharmacy, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Because you can go pick it up.
Go
Well, I
pick it up.
mean,
Yeah.
we could.
8 and 10 p.m.
That's late.
Who knows? Maybe it's a pharmacy that's far away and
Exactly. The next thing they were cited for was resident care and elopement standards. So what they did was they did a record review and they interviewed the facility and they found out that they failed to supervise and monitor one resident, resident number 15, who had exhibited elopement-seeking behavior. What they found was their employees A and C both stated that resident 15 had eloped from the facility, and they also reviewed his records or her records, number 15's records, and they revealed that the resident had eloped from the facility on August 14th. So they further went into investigating, and they found that the diagnosis was dementia, and that the resident had eloped multiple times. They also found out that the staff documented that resident had been up all night and used the bathroom in the hall, urinated on the wall, and appeared very confused and attempted to get outside, and that they didn't document that the resident's family or physician was notified. So that's where it kind of falls in with that documentation, and we kind of like to call it like the pass the hot potato, right?
yeah, yeah, get it out of your hands.
Get out of your
So,
hands.
well, see, this was that note. So there was like a note in their observation record that
Hmm.
he had been up all night, used the bathroom in the hall, urinated on the wall, very confused, and there was no follow-up to that instance. So that was the
Right.
10th, and then the 12th, that there was a documentation that the staff documented that the resident was found under the dining room table hiding, did not sleep again last night, um, and they did not contain any documentation that the physician or the resident's family had been notified. Doesn't mean
Doesn't
that
mean
they
they didn't
weren't.
do it.
Right, but That's those records, those observation records are, what do you say, Cheryl? There's always got to be follow-up.
Well, the thing is we may have all contacted, hospice, the family, the physician, but if you don't document it, OCA doesn't care. They
Yeah,
want to see it on the paper, and they want to see it documented. They follow the rules, and if it's not within what it's supposed to be, they really don't care. So that's probably why they got cited.
right.
So there always should be a big beginning, middle, end to every story. And
Yeah, and that's why we're developing a system to make it easier to track these instances. So the website, we'll reveal it later. We've been working on it for a few years now, but it's basically to help track a lot of these things to make sure that you do the proper documentation. So look for that, okay? Dining room table, so August 14th, so 2 days, I'm sorry, June, then August, so about a month later.
it's kind of in the summer. This resident
Yeah.
number 15 was going a little.
Having some issues here. Staff
Yeah.
documented that the resident attempted on 2 occasions to leave the facility through the dining room windows. During the interview with the regional director of operations, she stated that resident 15 eloped at 5:30. Interview with the administrator revealed that the elopement occurred prior to her coming to the facility. So I guess before she came to work. Review of the facility's policy revealed that residents at risk should be identified. Procedures state that any resident at a non-memory care community who has a documented diagnosis of dementia shall be considered an elopement risk. The staff did not assess or put any protective measures in place to monitor or prevent the resident from eloping. Continued review of the policy and procedures revealed that it does not contain what the staff are to do in the event of an elopement, what role each staff is assigned, or documentation regarding photographic identification. So
They failed
their
to.
elopement plan, basically, and their elopement policies and procedures didn't have a detailed plan. Like staff manager on duty calls, this person, notifies police, whatever your plan is has to detail specific employees on duty. Don't use names of employees because obviously those things change and people aren't always there. So manager on duty, staff scheduled in wing A, that's what I would do.
So what is one way, if you don't want to take in people who are an elopement risk, that you can hopefully prevent it like we do? I mean, there are appropriate facilities and there are inappropriate facilities, and we're not locked down. Most of them are locked down secure units, so I think you really have to be careful when you're walking around with your family doing the initial tour, and ask several questions, the same questions several ways, right, Kalei? Like, are they exit seeking? Oh no, have they ever run? Or it doesn't usually start with have they run away? No, 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 no. But then as you get through the questions asking, are they exit seeking? Well, yeah, mom goes around, looks for the exit every night.
But really the worst ones are the ones that'll lie because they went to a memory care facility and the rate was
6 grand,
astronomical, and so
and they can't
they're
afford
going to
it.
come to your facility because they're just going to lie because they're backed into a corner, and the only option is your facility. If you take them in and they just hope we'll get him settled, maybe he'll settle.
Right.
But if you just gotta always wonder if they're telling you the truth because 50% of the time the families are going to lie.
Yeah. No, I know.
So
We
don't
had a
take their
friend who
word
has a
for it.
facility, a small facility. Remember, and the family lied, and they called, and they no, that dad doesn't run away. He doesn't do this. But sure enough, they found him halfway out the window that night, out the courtyard, and he just kept running for the door.
Hmm.
But,
So
so they were distraught.
to me, that's the scariest part is taking somebody in with those
Those
tendencies.
behaviors, right?
Hmm.
Well, that's scary and aggressive too.
Yeah, right. Those two things. But we're very, very careful about it. So in this situation, I mean, there was something going on. I don't know when this resident was admitted and how long. I mean, if it was a new behavior. It says continue to reveal that. I mean, when were they admitted?
I think in June or May or
Oh, he was
something.
admitted in June 2013,
Mm.
so it started right away.
Right
So
away, he was ready to go
yeah, he was
home.
admitted in June, and then on June 10th, the incident about urinating in the hallway on the wall, and then June 12th about hiding under the table, didn't sleep, and then August 14th, the attempted elopement. So um,
Like
there were
something you
some
can,
signs there that there was something going on, and maybe he wasn't an appropriate placement for this particular facility.
right. Or if he was, I mean, they just, I don't know. They might be locked down, but no, I guess not if he got out. It's
Uh,
overwhelming though. My goodness gracious, new people and they're running and
well, even if it
going
was
to the
secure,
tables.
they stand at the door and wait.
They wait.
Yeah,
How
wait to
about
get in. Yeah, I just did
the
an
recent
assessment
assessment? Tell.
yesterday at a nursing home rehab, and well, it was 2 days ago, and I the person that was trying to get get this person placed told me that there's no exit-seeking behaviors. He's pleasant, but he happened to be in a locked part of a rehab nursing home. And I asked him why. He said, well, he's
Hmm.
very coherent. He's very alert. You can ask him. He'll just tell you that he just wanted to, their courtyard was too small and he just wanted to go out to the front and get some fresh air. And they caught him and they wanted to put him into the lock unit, and that's where he is now. And of course, I was going just to do a favor for this person who is somebody we know and like and we want to do business with. And but my guard was up, and I walked in, and luckily I was really late, and the daughter was there at the same time, and the daughter said, "Oh no, he really is trying to get out. Whenever anybody has the visitor stickers, he's pulling them off and collecting the visitor stickers and storing them in his drawer. I think he puts them on himself and walks around like he's a visitor.
Yeah.
He has an elopement bracelet every single day. She said he cuts it off, and then when they went outside in the courtyard, she was standing out there with him, and when she turned around, he had grabbed a chair and he was trying to jump over the courtyard wall. So,
Yeah. He
needless to
definitely was
say,
an elopement,
he
right?
he would, yeah, he would have definitely escaped our compound here. Um,
Mhm. So, like, going down to the last thing they got cited for was, employee training. Um, that's one of the top deficiencies anyway. So, um, some of their staff files that they audited didn't have certain trainings.
incident reporting,
Right,
emergency
nutrition,
preparedness. Um,
ADLs. See, if they would have taken our training, they have our subscription, they would have
A
had their
lot of this
training.
would have been avoided, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
so
we have incident reporting, we have, well, the emergency preparedness and evacuation,
specific.
that needs to be taught by the facility because the facility itself has a an emergency plan, and you need to teach your emergency plan to your staff. So there's no way anybody can teach your emergency plan except for you. So anybody telling you that you just gotta you just gotta make a curriculum, make a book, just have them sit down, have them read your emergency plan, explain it to them. The incident reporting, abuse, neglect, exploitation, we have um, nutrition and food safety. That's easy. The 1 hour class we have that, and then the ADL behavior needs. My ALF training has that as well.
Right.
So
Yeah, but I mean, these are things that, are easily overlooked. You can also just make a habit of maybe once a week auditing your files, making sure that you have a checklist, making sure the training's in there. Those are some things that'll help. So the next thing was risk management, adverse
well,
incident reports.
about the
What?
checklist you said. Once
Mhm.
again, I want to mention to everybody our program is almost ready to launch, and it is going to help you immensely to track all of these things. And so I just want to remind you, look for it. Don't unsubscribe from our emails, and and be aware. Okay, go ahead.
Risk management, adverse incident reports. So back to resident 15 who eloped. So they reviewed the facility records and they found out that they failed to submit an adverse incident report for the elopement. And, so that's something they didn't do, and some more documentation, and so they got tagged for that. So let's see. They both stated that, the resident, they verified that he did elope from the facility. And so they interviewed the regional director of operations for this facility, and she stated that, confirmed that the resident did elope, and she said that she was under the impression that the previous administrators did the adverse incident report, but she didn't have a code to get into the computer to check. So she thought that it was done. Then they interviewed the administrator, and she revealed that the elopement occurred prior to her coming to the facility. So it sounds like they may have a change of
A new
staff.
administrator.
And, yeah, has to be really tough, like stepping into this large place and taking over, and maybe the person before you wasn't very thorough or didn't, you're trying to clean up their mess. So kind of seems like that was a little bit what happened here too. So it's a shame.
The resident was given a 45-day notice, and the wife
Mm-hmm.
moved him out. There was no further documentation. So, so when did they move him out? I'm just curious. Oh well, I'm just wondering how long they waited to give him the notice, because that thing would have been
That would have been like day
delivered
2.
immediately. I know.
Like, okie dokie.
I mean,
Kind of avoided maybe urinating on the wall. We would have started seeing some signs.
but to be honest,
All right, how about climbing out the window?
you could have gotten some sort of emergency, like,
Move out.
because if you go to the doctor and you say, listen, this person is not safe here, and we can't keep him safe. We were lied to by the family. We did a thorough assessment, but we had no indication that he had this elopement behavior. He's not safe, so we need your help to to do a quick discharge. And then I think that isn't that 45 days waive in that situation,
Yeah,
Cheryl?
it's like 3 days. But
Right.
well, like, that's tough too. Like, if they're not appropriate, they need to have a medical discharge. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but you need the
Yeah.
doctor
Document
to
everything
do that.
too.
Right. Because really, you can't. I mean, unless you put somebody in there with them, and I think that's probably what a lot of larger communities do. They make them do that. I wonder if could you put that in the contract? I bet they put that in their contract that says that if if it becomes an urgent matter, because if it's written in the contract that is an automatic rate, that you have to pay for 24-hour, what do they call it, a sitter or something like that. Then you wouldn't need to give them a rate increase because it's in the contract. Like, the contract states that if you need these services. I wonder how that works, though. Would you still need to give 45-day notice because the rate is increasing? No, that's not.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm
we
not in the
don't really raise
contracts.
rates, so it's hard for us.
I'd like to raise some rates.
I know, right?
Like,
Okay.
let's send out a rate letter.
All right.
Let's see. With that also it's tough, and you have to document things, and it just seems like this is one that was a little bit of a tough case for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I
the
guess,
LNS,
well, like just back to that really briefly. Let's just say you could give them a rate increase, which is 30-day notice.
30 days.
So if you had to put somebody, standby next to them, then you have to eat that cost for the 30 days until the 30-day notice kicks in, and then the family has to pay it for that window between the 30 and the 45 days. So the 15 days the family will pay it. So I know the family probably won't want to pay that, because the 24-hour supervision, I mean, it's probably like, what, $18 an hour?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just in our area. So if it was $18 an hour times 24 hours a day, so that would be $432 a day would kick in 30 days. So even though you give them a 45-day notice, you can also raise the rate, right? 30-day rate increase and then a move out. And then
that's the thing. Yeah, go ahead.
in 30 days, they're not going to want to pay. It's $432 a day plus their normal rate. So they're going to be wanting to find a place quickly, I think.
Sure. I think for this meeting their medical needs, that's what we probably would have fought for within the 3-day discharge.
I guess the thing is, that's if they actually pay it, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know we've had situations like that. It's like, Great. Now try and get it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Next
Because
show. Go.
everybody's broke because
Uh-huh.
they all want to pretend like everybody's broke because they don't want to spend that inheritance on care.
Well, we don't want to judge everybody, but
I'm not judging everybody.
definitely people move money and hide money, and it does make things difficult for us in some ways because they could appear broke, but in a former life they were pretty well off. Okay, so let's see.
Which is the
Next
LNS
is
track.
LNS. Yeah.
Um, so these are the clinical records for the LNS license,
Okay.
and they are supposed to do monthly nursing assessments and documentation. So they sampled 3 residents that were receiving LNS services, and they found that this resident number 1 was receiving LNS services for catheter care, and they reviewed the 1823 signed by the physician, and it revealed an order for Foley care. So they reviewed the monthly LNS nursing assessment and revealed that there was no LNS assessment for December and January. So they completed an assessment in February. So they skipped 2 months of assessments, and I guess they should have been documenting the care that they were giving for the Foley care, and they failed to do that. So that's just documentation.
Right. Doesn't mean they weren't actually doing great work, right?
Right, exactly.
But
So,
boy, you forgot to write it down. You are a criminal. Okay.
no.
All right.
What about all the
So
good stuff,
I know.
that the nurse was spending hours taking care of this
All
resident,
right.
caring
Let's
for them?
see. Interview with. So are we done with this part here? So
No, I
about
was
the.
just looking at the
Okay. Here's
maybe
resident number 2 revealed on LNS care for oxygen administration. Interview with the resident in her room stated that the staff helps her with oxygen tubings. Observation revealed a resident lying flat in a bed with an oxygen connected to a connector with an extension tubing regulated at 3 liters per minute. Review of physician's orders dated revealed an order to check for oxygen saturation if resident is having respiratory distress. Okay, another physician's order dated on January 7th for oxygen therapy. Review of LNS monthly nursing assessment revealed on page 1 of 2, original document with no vital signs. That's a whole bunch of wording.
Yeah, this
Page
is
2.
just the same though. It's just the same. It says they failed to document this oxygen, you know, documentation that they were
Like the
that they were in
saturation or.
saturation and they were doing it. So in January 2014, the LNS assessment was not found in the record. So for some reason they didn't do January.
Yeah,
So that's what they're citing
there's
them
no
for.
vital signs.
Yeah, no
No vital
documentation.
signs. She stated she found it in her luggage.
Okay.
Did you? Okay.
Is that a resident trying to go
She
somewhere
said
or?
she said that she cannot find the January assessment in her records. 2 hours later, regional nurse provided a photocopy of a January assessment with no vital signs. She stated she found it in her luggage. Okay.
I'm hoping that whatever. That's pretty
But
funny.
she probably was
Like a
doing
luggage,
homework.
like a little nurse luggage, they carry around like a little.
Well, they probably took it home to do work at home,
Right.
and they're yeah.
It's just
So
the way it's worded. It sounds funny.
okay. Number 6 observation. It's oxygen again,
Again, and guess
and
what? The same thing.
second
No vital
page.
signs.
Yeah. Oh, 2 hours
Photocopy.
later again, they provided a photocopy of the January assessment. She stated she found these documents in her luggage as well.
She found it in
Regional
her luggage too?
Yeah, she stated that she found these documents in her luggage. Regional nurse stated that she does not know what happened to the original hard copy of the monthly LNS nursing assessments. But
Man.
they had the copies, but they still got cited.
Well, when ACA comes out, I'm going to be finding stuff in my luggage.
No,
Just kidding.
all right. So class 3.
Have luggage.
Um,
That's funny. Maybe she was a traveling regional director. Maybe she was traveling for the day.
Well, I think that's it. I don't see anything else. So
No
basically, their LNS tags had to do with documentation, all
documentation.
of it documentation. The thing that to me, it just, I say it every single time, these surveys make it sound like these people are bad, but I can guarantee you they're providing great care. And, you know, they're not spending a lot of, it's just a lot. It's a lot to keep track of and make sure that you.
Well, we always wonder, right? Like, do you want us to spend more time making special meals, or do you want us to just be in the office buried in paperwork all day?
I did tell them that one time. I said, it seems to me like you'd rather have us have less caregivers and more administrative staff. They didn't find that
We
funny.
just went quiet, yeah. It's like,
But so it's, but once again, I'm just going to say it again. The record system we're creating will help with all of these little things. All right?
does it have a mobile feature, Clay? So you don't always
It
have to go
will
to the
have a mobile
office.
feature. Yep. It'll be on both Android, like Samsung's, and then iPhones as well.
Because when I'm
So
thinking of something, I need to do it right then. Otherwise, by the time we get back,
it
we've
will
already
be,
been.
you can punch a note in, and yep.
Okay,
I
that
don't want to
makes.
reveal too much because I don't want somebody to
Oh,
knock us off.
sorry about
They
that.
can develop it after the knockoffs can come after we start, which, right? They usually do.
Yeah, the non-creative people.
Okay. Alrighty, guys. Listen, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed it. Cheryl, thank you, thank you, thank you again. I think
You're
these
welcome.
things would be boring without you. So,
Uh, are you saying calling yourself boring?
yeah, I'm boring.
Let's see. I have to cash in on a prize for doing another one of these, right?
All right, I owe you.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right.
Again, our care meeting for administrators, Central Florida, we're nailing it down. We're gonna get some great, great, great speakers. It's gonna be an amazing, um, it's gonna be an amazing event. Free continuing education credits for administrators. We're looking at May 20th, 2015, and
Right on
it is going to be, it's going to be a fun event. So I really want you guys to make sure that you're on our mailing list, and we'll let you know. Okay? Thanks, Cheryl.
Bye.